welcome back to the channel. If you're new, please make sure that you make the things happen so you can get notified every time I drop new content. We are back again with another pay-per-view, and man, it's been long. I was supposed to put this up. I feel like I always miss dates when it comes to uploading, but I was supposed to put this up, I think, last month. Simply because it just hit me that this channel is actually like touching 1 year, which is like crazy. Because when I started this, it was a thing where it's like I'm just gonna show you my universe, and it's gonna die somewhere. I'm not gonna be here right now. But yeah, you guys have been like behind this channel like from day one, and like literally like I'm getting like new viewers every single time I put stuff up, which is crazy. Because I won't lie to you, you guys have been like wholesome, and I feel like ever since I started this channel, like it has brought like a different energy in the subreddit, which is something I really like. And you guys have played like a huge part in this channel also. I won't lie to you in terms of like working, because there's some decisions that I don't make. I just post something on Reddit, you guys choose. Because I remember when I started the channel, I started like doing polls, and the results I got like on the polls basically affected like the timeline of what we are on now, right? Because I remember I started with the Troy Manning feud, where I was like asking people if Troy Manning should feud with Adam Sawyer, Spencer Van Zandt, or Brendan Judge, and that basically affected everything. So you guys have played like a huge part in terms of like working. I sometimes get messages on how like I should go about things, and sometimes like I get like inspired by some of the stuff you guys put on the subreddit. So I really appreciate it. Like I really appreciate your energy. I don't take it for granted, man, because the average views I get now, it's something crazy. So yeah, I just wanted to get that out of the way, and it's time for Fatal Mistake Part 2. I have a huge announcement, but I'm gonna make it in the next video, if the next video is not gonna be Dissension. So yeah, I think that's all I wanted to start with, and let's get to the pay-per-view. If you remember, Fatal Mistake is our... Please don't go on Champions. Fatal Mistake is our March pay-per-view. It's a pay-per-view that we started last year, where we have a gimmick match. Is it a gimmick match? Yeah, the 7, kind of like Money in the Bank, but it's not. But yeah, it's a gimmick match. 6-man, they get a contract. The one who gets a contract goes to Dissension and main events. Yeah, Dissension. So the last year's Fatal Mistake ladder match was won by Jin Bao, and this is how it's looking this year. So Alex Wright got Tsukuda, Mustafa Veisi, Manu and Greiner, Paxton Payne. By the way, sorry about that. So this is how it's looking. And yeah, let's get into the match card, and there's a lot of stuff going on. If you've been on the Reddit, I'm sure you've seen the build heading to this pay-per-view. I did not post like the go home show because I was too lazy to write stuff, but this is what you missed. Troy Manning facing Muhammad, which is something we'll get on. I think this was a champions versus challenges match, and we had a 6-man match. 6-man match. Why do I feel like I'm saying it? Okay, we had a 6-man. What do they call a 6-man match? Because I know Fatal 4-way, triple threat. What do they call a 6-man match? But yeah, we had a 6-man match where Alex White won, to pick up momentum heading to Fatal Mistake. And this is how our card is looking. We have the Defiance, Shawn, Estrada, and Spike Robinett versus Channing Dansereau and Davey, the leading edge for the tag team titles. We have 6-man Fatal Mistake ladder match. That's hard to say, guys. 6-man Fatal Mistake ladder match. It's Alex White, Tsukuda, Mustafa Veisi, Manu, Gerard, Greiner, and Paxton Payne. We have a tag team match. Troy Manning, Penn versus Spencer Van Zandt, the corporate ladder, Spencer Van Zandt and Muhammad. We have an AASE Infinite Championship match between Mayhew and Porter Jordan. For the main event, we're gonna have Jin Bao and Brendan Judge. I'm sure you're familiar with this setup. for the world title, because we've seen this at Dissension. Why is Dissension so far away? We've seen this here. So very, very, very familiar. So yeah, that's how our card is looking. So let's get behind the build and book the whole freaking show. So let's get into it. Let's get into the Defiance versus the Leading Edge. No strong build. The Leading Edge have been number 1 contenders for the tag team title since last year November, but have been dug by the Defiance multiple times. So yeah, that is what is happening right now. There's no backstory or serious storyline going on. It's just that the Defiance have been on a crazy run with the tag team titles, and they haven't faced the Leading Edge ever since they won the titles, right? Because I think they won the titles October, so they really haven't faced Leading Edge. They faced other teams though. They faced other teams though, like your underdogs and all that. You go to Tsukuda and Mustafa Veisi, but they haven't faced the Leading Edge. If they face the Leading Edge, I think it has to be here. But this was not like a normal match. This was kind of like an eliminator, which is kind of like unfair. But yeah, this is the Leading Edge coming back, because the Defiance has been trying to find ways to not face the Leading Edge in this in this setup. So we have that. We have the ladder match, which is quite interesting. How we got this matchup: Alex White, Tsukuda, Mustafa Veisi, Manu, Gerard, Greiner, and Paxton, Payne. This is the star-studded matchup, man. How we got this fatal mistake ladder match is we had qualifier matches, and these are the results. Alex White beat Derek DeRossi, and I think I made a mistake. Okay, but it's cool. Alex White beat Derek DeRossi, Mustafa Veisi beat Penn Wilson, Manu beat Greiner, Gerard Greiner beat Dansereau. That's the mistake I was talking about. Greiner being up twice. Paxton Payne beat Dansereau to qualify, and Tsukuda made an announcement because he was back from a hiatus. So that's how we got the whole setup, this crazy star-studded matchup. And what you need to know in terms of history between wrestlers is the Alex White and Manu situation, where Manu took over Alex White's faction when White got injured at Completion 2025 in a match against Troy Manning. He'd be kicked out by White at Fatal Mistake 2026 when he made his return from injury. So yeah, additional information: the two teamed up at Advantage Point Games 2026 after Baron Montag forced Manu to join White's team so they can secure the last 5 spots at the Battle Royal. So there was a time where Manu took over Alex White's faction, the King's Burning Hands, which had Dansereau, Muhammad, and Baron Montag. And when Alex White got back, he was angry because he was replaced by Manu, right? So there was that thing going on, and I think after some time, we had a situation where the corporate ladder took Muhammad from Alex White, and it was a whole feud where the King's Burning Hands had to face the corporate ladder at Advantage Point Games, right? Which you guys know, where the winning team gets the last 5 spots at the Battle Royal. So we had this set up, and I think the build to this was that Alex White was missing one person in his team, and Baron Montag pulled strength and called Manu and was like, you know what, this isn't about you and Alex White. Alright, you also need an opportunity you also need the last 5 spots. You also need the last 5 spots at the Battle Royal to be world champion. So don't think of it as a thing where it's you're helping Alex White to win the Advantage Point Games. You're also helping yourself so you can, enter last and be the winner of the Completion Battle Royal, right? So we had that situation. What else you need to know? Tsukuda and Mustafa Veisi, which is an interesting one, because they are best friends and tag team partners. They were also part of the corporate ladder in its early days. Additional information: the two has only come across Alex White in the tag team, the two has only come across Alex White in tag team or ladder matches. Okay, so I think that's that. Okay, after the ladder match, I think we're gonna have a tag team match, but let me read this so we can make it easy to work around. I'm afraid that if I don't read this, it's gonna be hard to read. when I booked the show. Right, so we're gonna have a Spencer Vincent and Muhammad promo. They're working up the ramp. Spencer Vincent talking. Troy Manning, I think there's still a lot of time for you to turn around and dump all of this, because you're not going to end me. You are not. You tried running through me on the corporate ladder multiple times and it's always the same result. Muhammad talks to Spencer, interrupts Spencer. It's like, Spence, I have an idea. I beat the man last week, right? If no one comes out to tag with him or loses tonight, then his last match with you at Dissension doesn't happen. It's a win on our side by default. Spencer likes the sound of that. They step in the ring. Spencer calls out Troy Manning. Troy Manning, I'm going to give you time, a minute, to come out here with someone you trust with your whole life to help you get the match you want so bad with me. If you fail to do so, I mean, you don't have any friends backstage, but if you fail to do so, then there's no end of an era. Troy Manning's music hits. As he's walking, okay, he walks up the ramp. As he's walking, Spencer cuts the music. It's like, I said you got a minute to come with someone you trust with your whole life to help you out, and you're going to take 5 hours to step in the ring. You want this more than I do, right? I'm counting down. 30 seconds. The familiar theme song hits. Penn Wilson shows up from the crowd. Wilson was trained by, this is what you need to know. Wilson was trained and brought to ASE by Spencer Vincent 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago? I hope I'm right. But I hope I'm crossing fingers I'm not wrong. But yeah, I think Penn Wilson debuted 2 years ago. He shows up from the crowd. He's like, I'll take it. I'll do it. I know the man himself doesn't trust me and has a solid reason to. But then, earlier this year, I said I'm going to apply pressure because Spencer didn't see value in me. And this is the perfect time for me to show that you are wrong. Troy Manning is like, he's mouthing to Wilson. He's like, hey, don't mess around. Don't do that. You know, Wilson is like, hey, this is important to me as much as it's important to you. Trust me. And you don't have a lot of people who got your back in there. I'm the only one you got, and I know Spencer more than you do. So we have this tag team set up. Troy Manning and Penn Wilson versus Spencer Vincent and Muhammad. The build here is that Troy Manning made his return. I think, when did he make his return? First week? Or early this year? Okay, yeah, he made his return like earlier this month. So here we are. Troy Manning made his return first week of March and told the universe that he's back to finish the story that he should have ended a long time ago. The man felt like his career after the breakup of the leading man has revolved around his feud against Spencer Vincent, who's been trying to get rid of the idea that puts up Troy Manning as the face of ASE. The leader of the corporate ladder has made it his mission to end the men's world title reign since Troy Manning won his first world championship, and has been successful in doing so. After what happened at Best of the Best 26, where Spencer Vincent helped Jin Bao win the title of Troy Manning, the man wants to make sure that he doesn't step in the ring with the master manipulator ever again, right? The 3-time world champion challenged Spencer Vincent in an end of an era match at the Ascension, where if he wins, he will never ever face Spencer again, right? But before we can talk about Dissension, Troy Manning should pick up a win he has tonight in order for the match to happen, because last week there was this match. He faced Muhammad, and Spencer Vincent basically helped Muhammad pick up a win against Troy Manning. So this was kind of like a light bulb, because Spencer was like, okay, not Spencer Vincent. Muhammad got a light bulb where it's like, hey, let's have a tag team match, to make it fair. And if Troy Manning loses or doesn't find the partner just in time, the match is not gonna happen. We're not gonna have an end of an era match between Troy Manning and Spencer Vincent. It's not gonna happen. That just goes out the window. So we have that. The team match is followed by a by a title match. I'm not sure if you guys see how I actually book shows. There's always like I always like try to start hot when it comes to kickstart, so that's why we have a tag team title and fatal mistake ladder match. Then this is gonna be like a break. Then we go back to the more significant, so this is significant, more important matches. So we're gonna have 2 title matches. Mayhew versus Porter. The build here is okay. Porter gets a rematch after failing to capture the AAC Infinite Championship on 2 occasions, which is eye to eye and 3rd week of March, where actually almost won. He basically won, but then via DQ. We had this set up here, but he won via DQ. So where was I? Porter gets a rematch after failing to capture the AAC Infinite Championship on 2 occasions. This is because Mayhew has been finding slick ways to come out on top in every match by cheating to win, leaving Adam Sawyer no choice but to book the champion in a hardcore match. Porter's idea of how his first match with Mayhew will turn out was not what he expected. The 5-time cruiserweight wanted to bring out the best out of the mayhem when he challenged him at eye 27, because he felt like his reign was becoming stale. Unfortunately, this led to Mayhew going for an easy way out with a low blow, thinking that Porter doesn't appreciate how much work he has put in making the unified titles relevant. The AC Infinite Champion is now seen in a bad light and has lost all his confidence because he realizes he's nothing without the title. So yeah, I think that's all you need to know. Porter wanted like this whole dream match set up with Mayhew, where like they're gonna, just gonna put up bangers, bring the best out of each other. But Mayhew like felt like Jordan Porter did not appreciate the fact that when Porter was doing his tag team run with Considine, Mayhew was out here like making sure that he puts like he treated like the mid-card title like it was the main title. So he doesn't like the fact that Jordan Porter just comes out of nowhere and challenges him, and telling him that his run has been stale. He doesn't appreciate that. He doesn't like that. He was like, I've been like busting like my, like for a whole year, and you come here and tell me that my run is stale, so he doesn't appreciate that. And as time goes, he's starting to become insecure. He's like, oh flip, I finally met my match, I finally met my match and I'm nothing without this title. So we have this match going on here. Okay, and for the main event, we have Jinbao versus Brendan Judge for the World Championship. Brendan Judge gets a rematch against Jinbao after not getting pinned in the triple threat match they had at I7 with Alex White. The Executioner believes that he would have been world champion if Alex White didn't force himself into the scheduled match he had with Jinbao, because he faced the champion at Dissension last year when he was the challenger. But Brendan Judge beat him clean. So we get to see Brendan Judge versus Jinbao Part 2. So yeah, like I said, Brendan Judge, this is not the first time seeing Brendan Judge and Jinbao, because it happened at Dissension last year. Right, it happened here, and Brendan Judge won clean. So we're supposed to get this match at eye to eye again. We're supposed to get this match again at eye to eye, but then Alex White tucked himself into the match. But then he's the one who got pinned, and Brendan Judge didn't get pinned. So Brendan Judge is like, I would have been champion right now, So finally gets his one-on-one match against Jinbao, and here we have it, big setup. Going into Dissension, like anything can happen. Brendan Judge can be champion. He might be facing Tsukuda, he might be facing anyone, Manu, Mustafa, Veisi, and whatsoever. So let's book the show. Let me make sure that the winners are correct. Okay, this one is interesting. But yeah, I did not write important for storyline, but I know what I'm gonna do with that. Here we're gonna be cool. So I'm gonna read the angle with Alex White after. So let's book the show, man. 100. They put in the banger. Love to see it. Yeah, The Defiance retains as always, but this time it's clean. Important for storyline, the Defiance is close to being the longest reigning tag team champions in ASE. This will eventually lead to a tag team tournament being set up for the first time ever heading to Dissension. So yeah, that's that. Sorry. Oh my god. The Defiance finally beat the team they've been darking. Clean, no cheats, no whatsoever. And yeah, this makes them the best tag team at the moment. And I created a tournament. I'm gonna show you guys when I'm done here. I created a tournament which is gonna be an interesting one, and I want you guys to predict which team is gonna make it. So you know, it's gonna face the Defiance at Dissension. So that's it. Oh my god, I'm getting 100. Why didn't I put this as a main event? I got 100 for the ladder match. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. I'm getting goosebumps. I'm shaking right now. I should have made this the main event, but okay, it's cool. It's cool. I put this here because I was afraid, because the first one, remember the first fatal mistake, it was like 91 or 90. What was it? 91, I think. So, oh flip, I did not finish the highlights. So the highlights here, Tsukuda and Mustafa teaming up against Alex White, Paxton, Penn, and Greiner. Manu V executing a main drop. I'm carrying Tsukuda and Mustafa. Paxton, Payne chopping Manu V. Alex White, I don't know what he was performing. But yeah, those are the highlights. And important for storyline, why Tsukuda won actually. We are getting Tsukuda and Jinpao, but in a world title setup. The two gained recognition under the corporate ladder and have been put in the same sentence when it comes to their run in ASE. The universe gets to see ACE's fastest rising stars clash and clash. What did I write here? Sorry. Put an end. Okay. The universe gets to see the AC's gets to see AC's fastest rising stars clash and end the debut of, oh my god, I was supposed to write a lot of things. Debate. Oh my god, what did I write? Okay, I'm gonna say what I was supposed to say here. So we finally getting Tsukuda and Jinpao. It has been like a conversation for many years, right? Because it's no secret that I've been pushing Tsukuda as the biggest baby face of the company, and Jinpao is the biggest heel of the company. So we're finally getting that. We're about to end that debate, because it's no mistake that the first fatal mistake ladder match was won by Jinpao. It's no mistake. It's no mistake that the second one is won by Tsukuda. It's no mistake that when Spencer Van Zandt, when Tsukuda left Spencer Van Zandt's corporate ladder, he was replaced by Jinpao. You know, that's no mistake. Like that's the whole world. That's what we're working towards, and we are finally going to see like two Japanese stars. Yeah, we get to see like two Japanese stars main event a USA region company, if I can put it that way, which is really, really big and inspirational, because remember, ASE has a deal with Japan where like they can sign any Japanese superstar in here. So that would actually like affect AC in the long run. And yeah, that's what I've been pushing. I'm gonna get into why Tsukuda and Jinpao is important. Probably like gonna do a time capsule too on why this matchup is important. But yeah, they both gained recognition under the corporate ladder. They're both Japanese superstars outside of ASE. And what else? They've been compared many times. Like it's no secret. They're basically like the next Troy Manning and Spencer Van Zandt rivalry, or Adam Sawyer and Spencer Van Zandt rivalry. They're the future, basically. So we're gonna see them at the biggest stage. Alex White losing doesn't really kill his momentum. I'm gonna tell you why. Because it's at the end of the of the pay-per-view. Mustafa Veisi, okay, cool. Mustafa Veisi, I think I have plans for him. linked to him chasing the AC Infinite Championship, because that's what he came here for before he was inserted in the fatal mistake ladder matchup, right? Manu Savea, okay, Manu Savea doesn't really hurt him much. I think in this match he has like a great, he had like a cool showing. His performance just tells you that this person is gonna be a champion anytime soon. Gerard Greiner still has a lot of work to do. His time hasn't come. He obviously came back for the World Championship, but I feel like this is not the right time to push the button. But I feel like the other thing I feel like is people who are a big deal to Jinbao right now, who's the current champion. Mustafa, Veisi, Tsukuda, Alex White. This is because Tsukuda, Mustafa, Veisi, and Jinbao are from one faction, right? So there's a lot of like history there. And Alex White facing Jinbao, there's a lot of like history linked to Alex White, his relationship with Spencer Van Zandt, right? So I feel like these three are the ones that are like big, like who are like actually like would have won, or who are like a big deal right now in terms of like, you know, pushing in the world title picture because of Jinbao being the champion. So the other three, they are good. But then I feel like this is not the perfect time to run with the whole, you know, with whatever is going on with them. You know, that's what I feel like. I feel like there's no story between Manu Savea and Jinbao, but there's definitely a story between Manu Savea and Brendan Judge. Definitely something to work around there. I feel like there's no story between Greiner and Jinbao, Greiner and Brendan Judge. I feel like there's no story between Paxton, Payne, Jinbao. Like there's nothing from there. But these are like the big three. Because even though the title changes, Mustafa has his own stuff going on. Let's say if Brendan Judge picks up a win, still has his own story to finish. Tsukuda has his own story to finish, a big one. Alex White has a story to finish with Brendan Judge. So these are like the big three to get behind. What's here? Okay, the promo is cool. 100. This might be our best pay-per-view, guys. Okay, here someone's affected. Oh, no one's affected. I thought Spencer Van Zandt and Muhammad would lose a lot of fans because I made Penn Wilson pick up a win here. But okay, that's good. 100. And okay, important for storyline. Penn Wilson doesn't see himself joining the corporate ladder after trying to prove himself to his mentor multiple times and seeing how the faction has changed everyone. Shawn is seen passing the torch to Penn Wilson at the end of this match. So Penn Wilson, obviously, like the story that you guys don't know is that the reason why Penn Wilson is not in the corporate ladder is because Spencer Van Zandt feels like Penn Wilson should do everything on his own before he joins the faction. Because obviously he was trained by him. Penn Wilson was trained by Spencer Van Zandt. He was brought to AC by Spencer Van Zandt. So Spencer is like, nah, I'm not gonna do everything for you. You're not gonna be under the faction. I'm gonna let you do your own thing. And when you start, when you start to shape up, I think that's when we're gonna bring you under the corporate ladder. So Penn Wilson has been like frustrated because every single time he's been trying to prove himself to Spencer Van Zandt. Even like in the Battle Royal, because when he made his debut, like he had like a crazy showing. Like he eliminated, I don't know how many people. I think he had 5 or 4 eliminations or something like that. So we have this situation where Penn Wilson is like, you know what? I've tried proving myself to you multiple times. You don't see value in me. Just say that, because there's a lot of people that you brought under your wing that you trusted, and it's crazy that you cannot trust me, So if I'm not gonna join you, I'm gonna be against you. So this is why we have this setup here. Penn Wilson helping Troy Manning pick up a win. We are going to see the end of an era between Troy Manning and Spencer Van Zandt, which is cool. I can see a story developing between Spencer Van Zandt and Penn Wilson, because I feel like Penn doesn't have anything going on in terms of like storylines, or he doesn't have direction. So I can see him have like a personal feud with Spencer Van Zandt, where Spencer Van Zandt probably like puts him over, right? So yeah, I can see that happening. And Penn Wilson, I feel like now that I've booked this matchup, right? I feel like Penn Wilson is not meant to be face. That's no. I'm sorry. I feel like Penn Wilson is not meant to be heel. I feel like his bio says he's the original. He's the first superstar to be like to start at ASE, and I feel like he'd be like the perfect face because he was basically born for ASE, right? So I can see him becoming. I can see him being like the next baby face, and yeah, I think I can see that happening. Like obviously, I feel like every promotion should have a huge baby face and a huge heel. So right now it's Troy Manning, Spencer Van Zandt. After that it's gonna be Tsukuda and Tsukuda and Jin Bao. After that it's gonna be Penn Wilson and someone else. Still trying to find how we're gonna introduce pretty like Penn Wilson's arch rival or something like that. So yeah, I feel like that's where we're going with this. Troy Manning is passing the torch to Penn Wilson because Penn Wilson has great potential, but then right now he doesn't have direction. But I think this is a great start. Him beating Spencer is a great start. But yeah, that's that. We're getting Troy Manning versus Spencer. I'm gonna try to make the build important because I feel like it's rushed. Even though I feel like it should have like ended like a long time ago. So I'm gonna try to make it personal. Oh my god. Okay, this is 100. Storyline. I did not write important for storyline, but then what I can say it was just a matter of time. I personally feel like Mike Mayhew's run was getting stale, and he finally met his match, Jordan Porter, right? And I feel like it's kind of like sensible for Jordan Porter to win this because Eric Considine got injured and his partner Eric Considine got injured, and Jordan Porter decided to go for a singles run, which was overdue, right? So he's finally getting he's finally like getting the singles run he deserves, because it would have like hurt him if he came back for the AC Infinite Championship and lost, because it will be like, what's next? You come for the AC Infinite Championship, you lose, then it's like, what's next, right? So I feel like this is a great setup, because I think after this run it would make sense for Porter to go up the world title, right? It wouldn't make sense for him to lose against Mike Mayhew then go to the world title. So I feel like this singles title was overdue, and it was just a matter of time, especially for Mike Mayhew, because his run has been lengthy, and him winning, people don't really like to. They don't like it was gonna be an overbooking type of situation. That's what I was afraid of, right? Because Mike Mayhew's run, like, he has faced a lot of like good people, like type superstars, but then he's finally met his match, and it's kind of gonna bring like a different feel to this picture, to the AC Infinite Championship picture, because we have never seen Jordan Porter like in singles matches for a very long time. So it's going to be refreshing to see Porter versus David Geller, Porter versus El Fugo, Porter versus Penn Wilson, Porter versus all these people, right? So that's how I feel right now. And I really wanted Mike Mayhew to have like his full circle moment, because he has been champion since January last year. He's been champion since January, and at Decision Day, which I believe was a June or July pay-per-view, he unified the titles, right? So it was gonna be like wholesome for him to carry this title till Decision Day to make it one full year. But then, it's that is something else. That is something else. But one thing I like is that there's gonna be continuity, right? Because look at it like this: if Porter lost, that would mean a new challenger would have to come up, right? And that does nothing for Porter. That means Porter just came back, lost, and he's directionless. But then, now that Porter is champion, we get like some sort of like continuity. Like, this can be stretched to Dissension. We can get like a part 3 or part 4 at Dissension, a part 4 at Dissension. where Mike Mayhew, uses his rematch clause to get his title back. And yeah, I think that's what I was going for. I was going like for continuity, because I don't like the fact that Mike Mayhew was gonna get like a new challenger and Porter would be like dropped down like that. So I don't like that idea. I don't like that idea. So yeah. So I think that's that. That's that. Like I said, we're gonna see a new dynamic. If Porter retains at Decision Day, we're gonna see a new dynamic where it's like a lot of people are interested in the picture. Porter versus Colt, Porter versus El Fugo, Porter versus Davey Guetta, Porter versus all these people, and I think that's the way to go. But the people that I'm high on right now is Mustafa, Veisi, and Jack Calico. So we'll see what happens after Dissension or heading to Dissension. Oh, and the other thing is I want you guys to help me out with something. Mike Mayhew has a contract he won at the Atlas of the Universe tournament. Remember, November we usually have this thing called Atlas of the Universe, where like the best stars of the year are inserted in the tournament, and the winner gets a contract which allows them to basically cash in or insert themselves in a title match, which means, for example, if Adam Sawyer and Troy Manning had to face for the world title, they would and let's say Penn Wilson won the contract, he's able to insert himself in the match. So Mike Mayhew has that contract. So I'm thinking of something. I'm thinking of like pulling something. I don't know if he should use that contract to cash in and get his AC Infinite title, or use that contract to get a world championship. So I'm gonna put up a poll and see what you guys think. Main event matchup. It's cool. 100. I feel like this is the perfect pay-per-view. Jinbao wins by interference, thanks to Alex White. Alex White is didn't write the finish. Alex White is, but Alex White interferes. Important for storyline, Alex White is upset that he failed to win the fatal mistake ladder match and tries to cost Brennan Judge the match. Simply that. That's that. So this is another like kind of like story that's going on. Remember when we started the year, we had this dream match, Alex White versus Brennan Judge, which is now turning into like a personal feud. So we're gonna take that to Dissension and try to end it at Dissension, which is gonna be big, because I want you to keep this in mind. Alex White has never lost a one-on-one match at Dissension. So this is gonna be like a big fight feel between Alex White and Brennan Judge, because probably gonna have a stipulation whereby no one can cheat, no one can do anything, and it's gonna be like a crazy face off. And yeah, Jinbao retained simply because we want to see Tsukuda versus Jinbao, something that we have been building up to since this game started, I guess. at the biggest event of the company. So we're gonna see Tsukuda versus Jinbao for the World Championship, and that's that. Oh, I also forgot this. I forgot that there's gonna be an interference. There was an interference here. Can you see the interference? I cannot press it. Okay. The Natos basically attacked Gerard Greiner in this match. So that's what I forgot. There's gonna be another like storyline. But I think we're done, guys. I think we're done. 100. Oh my god, thank God. Thank God. I'm tired. I was so afraid I was gonna get 99. We got our first 100. Oh my god. Finally I can breathe. Man. Shoo-wee. I'm so excited. Shoo-wee. You see, these are the feeds that are going on right now. But yeah. This is getting hot. This is getting to where I wanted to get. But I don't like how it's looking on Spencer Van Zandt's side. I don't really like how it's looking. This is legendary. Everyone here is doing good. Okay. This has to end. I feel like this has to end. I'll see what I will do with this one. I feel like we finished this one. This is getting hot. But it's not looking good for Penn Wilson. Okay, cool. So before we end the video, this is the tournament that I've been talking about. This is the tournament that I've been talking about. I want you guys to tell me who you see. Sorry, going to dissension. It's kind of like a tight tournament because you're seeing people that have never tag teamed before. And you're seeing like people that could be like future champs, right? So that have like great chemistry and stuff. For example, Coach Brewer and El Fugo, Azofira and Mohammed, Penn Wilson and Masato Miyamoto. And we're seeing like crazy forced tag teams like Brennan Judge and Troy Manning, because they're now friends right now. So Brennan Judge and Troy Manning could be killer. What is this? Can be a killer tag team. Dr. Rossi and Alex White can be a killer tag team. I can see myself continuing the Alex White and Brennan Judge story in this tournament. Yeah. And here we're seeing like the best tag teams. The best tag teams here are the favorable tag teams are the leading edge, the original leading edge. These are 3-time. Odin Tashio and Channing Dansereau are 3-time champs. We can see that and Paxton, Payne and Scott Ringo, who are, I don't know if how many times they held the Shanders. I need to search for in this thing. Oh, they're 3-time, 43 experience. Oh my god, that's crazy. So yeah, that's it for Fatal Mistake. I'll see you guys at Dissension. This one is gonna be a tight one, but okay, I'm not sure if I should show you the spoilers. But this is what I have planned ahead. Okay, Mohammed versus Dinosaurs, we might scratch that. Defiance versus L3 and Colt, that's something that could change. Mayhew versus Mustafa. Okay, that's changed, that's completely changed. Alex White and Greiner is happening, Troy Manning and Spencer Vincent is happening, Tsukuda and Jimbo is happening. So that's it, guys. Sending energies from this side. See you next time.
My mind races through the